Hello and welcome to another exciting episode of Team Basstic TV. I'm your host, Evan Salve, and tonight we are down here in Long Beach, California. We're going to be rolling out in search of big saltwater bass in some nasty structure. It's 8:30 at night. We're going to be pulling an all-nighter. We won't be until morning, so hopefully in that time frame we'll be able to pull some big sand bass, calico bass, and who knows, maybe more. Today I am joined by Matt. He's a frequent Team Basstic TV contributor.
Hello.
Jackson, you've never really fished for a saltwater bass much outside the harbor, have you?
Only on party boats.
So hopefully we'll indoctrinate him into the clan of awesomeness with a fun night on the water, and that was a really good example. I want you guys all to quote that because, God, it was brilliant. Anyway, we're about to go into the water. We're about to throttle up and burn some fossil fuels, and hopefully, if the stars align like they actually might do tonight, we're gonna have a stellar night on the water. Stay tuned. Team Basstic TV is brought to you by Shimano, Power Pro, and G Loomis, Big Hammer Swim Baits, War Baits, Uni Butter, Bass King Clothing, and Inox Lubricants. It's sand bass, aka cloud bass, gray bass, turd roller time. The important thing about nighttime fishing, as much as getting on the spots, is rigging up the right baits for the occasion. I like to fish a darker bait. I've said it in a lot of my other videos that a darker pattern is going to stand out a lot better in low light conditions, and it especially holds true in deep water where there just naturally is lower light, and then you factor in the fact that there's no sun, there's no light on the horizon to give it a little bit of illumination. Really, you're looking at fish that, while they are used to that low light, they still want to see something that's going to stand out. My baited choice for right now is going to be a 6.5-inch Midnight Phantom Big Hammer. I've got that on a 1.5-ounce War Bait Slayer head in the DCP color. This combination together not only looks good, but it combines the best of both worlds, where you have that dark profile back, that dark profile kind of belly area of the bait, and then you do have this nice fluorescent chartreusey tail, which is going to stand out in the little bit of light that might be present from perhaps the lights from your boat or something like that. So you combine those two color schemes and you have a very seductive bait, a very attractive bait. I'm just going to thread it on right here, try to get the straightest thread possible. It's very easy. These big hammers just thread onto these warheads very nicely. And there you see, it's threaded on nicely. Another part of the equation is scent. We prefer uni butter, we use it, we trust it. It's derived from uni, which is a natural occurring food source in the Southern California ecosystem. So the fish know the smell, they know the taste. So we're gonna be very careful and lather up these baits before we start fishing, so it gives it that extra appeal, and it also masks human scent from oil or from sunscreen or something like that. So we're about to roll out here. We're nearing the mouth of the harbor. You can see the Queen Mary over there. You can see a cruise ship of some sort heading out. And we're gonna throttle up, and we're gonna go hit a variety of spots. I've got about probably 80 to 100 spots between here and Newport Harbor, both shallow water spots, deep water spots, visible spots, invisible spots, all of which seasonally can hold some really big fish. We're gonna be looking at some spots that we actually caught fish on during the SWBA Cyclone Flashback over the summer in July. We actually got second place in that tournament with a record 32-pound bag of sand bass. Now that's not the overall record, that is the record for sand bass, face down, bass up. Caught an incredible 35-pound bag off a local wall, which was just stellar. So we got second place and we're happy with it. So we'll see what happens tonight. Regardless, we're gonna have a great time. It's always good times with good friends. See you soon. Is that your biggest personal best?
Oh yeah, biggest sand bass, definitely.
That's a 5-pounder.
It's already right here, Max.
There's another turd roller. Nice one. You can see we're working right there. You can see there's a couple suspended fish. We're working just a large swath of hard bottom. Raising and lowering this bait, hopping it along. Nice little 2-pounder, kind of your average fish for this time of year out here. Oh yeah, beautiful fish, real healthy. So, nice bars. Again, for those of you who might not be familiar with the sand bass, this is a sand bass. Very similar to the calico bass. They exhibit a lot of the same features. Their behavior is very similar as well. They respond to similar baits. These guys do orient a little more with the bottom than the calicos do, where you're going to see calicos hanging really high on structure. Usually these guys will be underneath them, or in some of these deeper water spots where in 65 feet of water. So I'm going to let him go, and he'll dart on down to find his buddies, which hopefully will be joining us up here for a little bit of a sand bass party. Let's commence. So we're out here, some deeper spots. We picked away at some fish, smaller gray down on the inside with a lot of sculpin. Obviously not our target species. We also got a few small calicos in another zone. Right now we're in one of those deeper spots, 80 plus feet. We're going to try to get some of those larger individuals. We're covering a lot of different depth ranges to try to see if these fish are staging in a particular depth. You just never know. You know, there's a lot of factors that come into play. Recently there was a lot of giant squid out here. Who knows how that affected it? You know, an absence of bait or a presence of bait, water temperature, water color, good tidal flows. We're coming off some really stellar tidal movement this week in the bays. I'm sure guys were just licking that up. It was really good. We were looking at 6-7 foot swings for a lot of the week there. So maybe that will have an effect out here. As you can see, we're over a lot of structure right now. A lot of hard bottom. Jackson missed one. It is a little misty though. The hardest part down here is when you're fishing in 90 feet of water, just maintaining bottom contact. Luckily at night, it's very calm, and unless you've got some current moving you, you're really not going very far, very fast. So it's easy to keep your bait down there. But sometimes when it gets windy here in the afternoon, or if you got a lot of current on the changing tide, it's really hard to maintain bottom contact, and you end up with a lot more line out than would be ideal. You know, you're long lining your bait way back there. It's harder to catch up with the fish. It's harder to stay tight on them. It's harder to feel the bites. Take your time. Point your rod a little lower. Yeah, keep winding. Don't pump them. They'll roll off. Nice, dude. Oh, nice bass. Wow, let's get him in the boat. There we go.
Hello.
Nice
That's
fish,
probably
dude.
my biggest sand bass.
That's a fine specimen for this deep water stuff. Hard bottom.
Jeez.
We got a 6.5 inch. Yeah, you'll see here, because they're in such deep water, they're gonna have a little bit of expansion there.
Oh, that's a nice one.
Yeah, it's a nice quality 2.5, 3-pound fish, 3-pounder. What'd you get them on?
Warbait, Slayer head, 2-ounce model, 6.5 inch Midnight Phantom, some bait with a little unibutter on the side of that. Quality fish.
Awesome. You saw how he was fighting that fish. At first, when you first get that bite and you get that hook up, you really got to wrestle him off the bottom. Put a lot of pressure on that fish so he doesn't dig you into this heavy structure we're seeing on the meter. Once you get him off the bottom, I really encourage people to slow down a little bit. These sand bass have a tendency to roll around. They'll start kind of rolling all over the line. They're going to give you these weird head shakes, and they can really leverage the hook out of their mouth very easily, especially when you pump the fish with your rod. When you're pumping them, what's going to happen is you're basically going to be adding to that twisting effect they already have. So just maintain steady pressure and just get them up. Don't pump them too hard, don't pull too hard, and really, once you get it down, you're gonna really get most of your hookups. It's not gonna miss as many fish. Nice fish here, double hookup. Jackson's on the other side. Oh, here's mine. Oh, nice fish. There we go. It's a good fish.
Watch out.
Dude. Double hookup. Slow and low. Bam 1, bam 2, double hookup. Quality models. This is what we do. Structure sand bass fishing at its finest.
Oh,
what do you think, Jackson?
It's awesome. Simply awesome.
Here we go. So our night has come to a close. We're passing to Queen Mary right now, and that means we're on our way to South Shore's launch ramp, where we usually launch for these nighttime expeditions. The fishing was pretty good. It was a steady pit throughout the night. We had a variety of deep water spots, getting a few here, a few there. Jackson got a real standout, nice 5-pounder. That was a lot of fun, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Personal best? So that was kind of the highlight of the night. And ultimately, we had really nice weather. Fish on the board's just a little bit of an afterthought. The good thing is it's good times with good friends. Jackson, Matt, who's crashed out, he had a long night. I tell you, it is truly, truly exhausting. I don't know how I'm gonna get home. Drivers beware. But we're gonna pull the boat out of the water. We're gonna head home. We're gonna give her a quick scrub down, and we're probably gonna crash. We need to recuperate from what can once again only be considered an excellent night on the water. See you soon. Become a fan of Team Basstic on Facebook, where you can connect with hundreds of other anglers who share a passion for saltwater bass. Ask and answer questions, post reports and pictures, follow Team Basstic as they compete in the SWBA trail, and be the first to view new Team Basstic TV episodes.